Hello everyone, welcome back to Coding Digest. Let's start with our second LeetCode solution. The problem will be like that. Let's say, let me create one more class. Let's say LeetCode solution.java. Okay, we'll change the class name after we discuss the problem statement, right? So the problem statement what I have chosen is given two strings, let's say str1 and str2, and what we have to do, we have to return the largest string let's say x, such that x divides both string 1 and string 2, right? To find the largest string x that divides both string 1 and string 2, you need to find the greatest common divisor or GCD, right? To greatest common divisor of GCD of the lengths of two strings. So lengths of two strings means, suppose there is a the length of str1 is len 1 and str2 is len 2. So GCD of length 1 and length 2, right? First thing we have to do, we have to find out the GCD of or greatest common divisor of length 1 and length 2. What are the lengths of str1 and str2? Okay, and then using that we have to check the substring of that 0 and this GCD length, right? GCD length. So this is the length, again int. So if this particular substring is also a substring of str1 and str2. So first thing we have to find out the GCD of the lengths of the str1 and str2. Then we have to find the substring of 0 to GCD of length 1 and length 2, right? And then we have to check if that particular substring, is also a substring of string 1 and string 2. Then we will find out that substring is, or then we can say that particular substring is a string which divides both string 1 and string 2, or the largest string which will divide the string 1 and string 2. So let's start. So let me rename the class as find largest string. Okay, find largest string, sorry, F should be capital letter. We have to rename the file name also. Now let's say this is the largest substring, right? So first we have to find out the GCD of two lengths. Let's say let's create first public static let's say GCD of two or GCD of two strings. Okay, GCD of two strings. What are the two strings? String 1, str1, and string str2. Correct? Now what we have to find? We have to find the length of these two strings. So int length 1 equal to str1 dot length, int length 2 equal to str2 dot length. Correct? So then next, what is the next step? The next step is to find the GCD of length 1 and length 2. Right? Length 1 and length 2. Then what is the next step? What is the next step is substring of, or not like that. We'll check if what if let's say in the comment if string str1 dot substring 0 to the GCD length, basically GCD length, right? GCD length. This is the problem statement, or this is how we are going to solve the problem, basically. Okay, this is how we are going to solve the problem. Okay, fine. Now first thing, we have to find the GCD. So this is kind of int length, or rather GCD length, right? GCD length equal to GCD of this. Now we have to create the method here. Okay, we have to create the method here. So private int or private static, we can put it at static so that we do not have to instantiate the class. Static int, because this is the int, so we have to return int. So GCD. Okay, so now we are going to find out the GCD using Euclidean algorithm. Okay, and I'm telling you what is Euclidean algorithm. So using that Euclidean algorithm, we can find out the GCD of two numbers. Let's say int a and int b. Right, int a and int b. We have to find out what the GCD of two numbers. So first thing, while we have to check if the b is not equal to 0, or b is not a 0 element, right? B is not equal to 0. So this is the or rather this is the condition of while loop. The b is until or the loop will run, or loop will get executed until the b gets 0, right? So what is the logic? So we'll put the b value, in a temporary variable. Okay, and now the b will be updated with a remainder b. So we have to check, we have to update the b value with a and the remainder of a and b, and then we'll put the temp value, or we'll update the temp value to a. sorry, temp, right? And then what will return? The return value, the return we have to return the value of a, which will be the GCD of this particular or these two numbers, GCD of these two numbers. Okay, GCD of these two numbers. This is the Euclidean algorithm. Okay, first what we have to do, we have to iterate the one loop or while loop. Let's say you can also use for loop, but while loop will be good for understanding, right? So b will be, we will execute that particular loop until the b becomes 0. Okay, so until the b becomes 0, and then we'll store that b value to one variable temp, and then we'll update the value, or let's say updation of b will be a remainder b. Okay, and then the v value, if you see, the temp value is the b value, the b value will be in the a again, and we are returning the a after all these operations, right? In this way we can find the greatest common divisor. Okay, so thing is that we are now good in GCD length, GCD of length 1 and length 2. This is how we have found out that things, right? Now let's say we have to create one substring, let's say string candidate, string candidate equal to string 1 substring. Okay, substring is a method, string 1 is a string substring of 0 and GCD length. So what is the problem here? It feels changed to substring. Okay, we are now putting or we are finding out the substring of str, which is 0 to GCD length. Correct? Now we have to check if we have to check what? We have to check if it is a divisor or divisor of string 1. So candidate is a divisor of string 1 as well as string 2, right? So if let's say is divisor string 1 comma candidate and so this will be the and is divisor str2 comma candidate, to check whether string 1 and string 2 are both or candidate is a substring of both string 1 and string 2. Then if this is divisor, we have to write that particular method. Okay, now if this is true, right, if the particular candidate string is substring of str1 as well as str2, then we'll return what? We'll return candidate, right? Else, if it is not true, else we'll return a blank string, let's say. Okay, a blank string, right? Now what we have to do, we have to implement this is divisor method. Correct? we have to implement this isDivisor method. Now isDivisor obviously will be a boolean one, so private boolean, and it should be a static also, right? Static boolean is divisor. Okay, and this is my string str comma string divisor. Basically we have to check, right, is this a divisor or not. So what we have to do here, int length equal to str dot length, okay, divided by divisor dot length, okay, divisor by length, or divisor length. Okay, now string builder is b equal to new string builder, right? Now while length minus minus, okay, well, length minus minus is greater than 0, we are decrementing the length, okay, and we are checking when it is greater than 0, then sb dot append what, divisor, okay, sb dot append divisor, and then we can check and return that if sb dot toString dot equals, okay, dot equals str, correct? So whether that particular string is equal to the string we are creating here using this string builder. So if it is true, then obviously the divisor is the divisor of str, right? Okay, so isDivisor is done. Now return type of method is missing, okay, so this should be static string, obviously, right? So this is the overall logic, and here let me create one main method, and then inside the main method, let's say system sysout statement, right? Sysout statement, as we have written these methods as static with static keyword, right? So we do not need to instantiate the class we do not need to instantiate the class. We can use the methods without instantiating the class also, because static method is a class property. So the class property means you have to put here directly the GCD of two strings. Okay, now if you are putting two strings like this, ABC, and string 2 is ABC, okay, then what will be the result here? The result will be ABC. See, this is the greatest common divisor, right? So this is very important, the logical things. Logical things means, first, always remember, we have to calculate the GCD. I have written here, first we have to calculate the GCD of both lanes. okay, both lengths. Then we have to find out the substring of length 1 and length 2, or substring of 0 to GCD of length 1 and length 2, right? GCD of length 1 and length 2. Now we have to prove that substring, not proof, we have to check whether that substring is a divisor, really a divisor of string 1 and string 2 or not. So how to do that? So first thing, we have to find the divisor. Okay, we have to find the divisor, and then we have to check by repeating the length of the length of the string and the divisor length divided by divisor length. Okay, so we are basically we are repeating the str or the divisor. Actually, we are repeating the divisor string, whatever string we are getting, we are repeating the divisor string, okay, with the help, with the number length, okay, with the number length. What is length? Length is basically string length divided by the divisor length, correct? And then we are checking if that particular string we have built here using string builder is equal to str or not. If it is yes, if it is equal, then probably we can say it is, divisor is a divisor of str, right? And then this logic is, you are using this particular logic here as if divisor str1 candidate and is divisor str2 candidate, then we are returning candidate, else return just a blank string. Okay, because blank string means we are not finding out any of the common divisor. Okay, you are not finding out any of the common divisor. So here you can also check here, put a log here, like if it is blank, then there is no common divisor. Okay, there is no common divisor. Suppose this is ABC, and this is obviously nothing, it's DEF. Okay, DEF. So what will be the common divisor, greatest common divisor? It's nothing, right? It's nothing. So we have to we can print something like that. If it is blank, if it is coming blank, then probably there is no common divisor, right? So instead of putting here like this, is a sysout statement like this, let me put like string GCD string equal to this. Now if GCD string dot length is greater than 0, right, then sysout GCD string, right? Else sysout calculating GCD of these two strings are not possible, right? And if you run it now, then you will get calculating GCD of these two strings are not possible, right? So this is how we can solve this particular problem. Okay, so instead of using this is divisor, right, we can also use the repeat method, which is introduced in Java 11. Repeat method. Okay, repeat method. Okay, so please go through this repeat method. Okay, you can also try to solve using repeat method, and if it is not done, then you can tell me in the comment section, right? So thanks for your time. Thanks for watching.